So in honor of Lag B'Omer, I am going to teach you how to make one of these sweet little bonfires made only out of paper and just some everyday materials to help us. Let's get started. So in order to make the bonfire, all we need is some paper, scissor, crayons, and glue stick and stapler. Now in addition, I also used to create some textured looking on my paper. I used a boot and an empty can. But if you maybe want to find items at home or just create some plain untextured looking paper. Let's begin. So in order to make the wood markings, like the look of the texture on the wood, I used the can. I'm going to show you how to do that. So you take your paper and the can, and with a brown crayon with its wrapper removed, you can start finding the texture. And as you see, it's starting to look a little bit brown. Now, I'm not going to show you to color the whole page right now, but you can go ahead and color the whole page brown. Perhaps afterwards, you might want to add in a little additional color, and you can go over it with some other browns or even the same brown. So let's switch that out one. There we go. We have our brown paper ready to become a log. Now, in order to do that, we're going to turn it upside down with the brown color on the bottom. And I just see now white paper. So I'm going to roll it. I'm going to roll it. See how there's a long side and a short side. So I'm going to take one of the corners from, actually it doesn't matter what you do. I'm not folding it like this. Although if you did, that would be fine too, actually. I hadn't thought about that before. You can roll it like this. I've been rolling it like this because I can get a little bit of a longer looking stick and then cut it into two. But if you roll it the other way, that will be fine as well. So now, as you see, I have something that's starting to look like a stick. I'm going to take my glue stick, and as I open up my glue stick, my roll is starting to come loose. That's okay. Roll it back up. It doesn't really matter how tight or loose it is because there are so many different looks to this. It's perfect in its imperfection. There you go. Now I have one long stick. I am going to cut it in half. Now, when I cut it in half, it's possible that one part will come unrolled just like that, and that's okay. I'm going to just roll it back up and glue it. That's because I had only glued in one small spot. You could glue in a wider area to prevent that, but if it does, as you see, no big deal. Roll it back up. Now, I like to snip the ends so that I have two straight-ish ends. Snip, snip. And now I have two wooden logs to hold my bonfire. And I am going to go ahead right now. See, I made an X. I took both sides, put one on top of the other, make an X. And I have my stapler and staple just with one staple them together. Now, if you only have tape or glue, I could have used my glue stick to put them together, or tape, or any other way that you can figure out to connect them. And there we go. We're going to put that aside and start making the flame, the bonfire. So in order to do that, I also wanted some texture, some reds and oranges and yellows, my warm colors from the color chart, my reds and oranges and yellows. And I really like the texture on this boot, the pattern here, especially because flames, the lines of a flames, they wiggle and curve. They're not straight lines. So I really love this. Reminded me of the look of a flame. But you probably have something in your house with some curved edges and lines or circles. It really could look cool with all sorts of things. Even if it's straight geometric, that would probably work too, because you're not going to see much detail. Now, as you see, I'm not going to go over this whole thing with you right now, but I'm going in with some reds. It doesn't matter. I'm going to cover the whole page. It doesn't matter how loosely I do it, because nobody's going to look too closely at the details. We just want it for effect. Okay, so I've filled up my page with the illusion of texture with my reds and oranges and yellow to look like a flame. And now I'm going to cut this into a square just like I would anytime I'm about to do origami. So I am folding, I'm taking my page and I'm going to fold it at the corner and line up the side. And now when I'm pretty satisfied, I'm happy with where it is, I'm using my finger to slide so that way it will stay in place like a triangle. And now I'm going to cut off this extra rectangle. I don't need that because what I'm going for is my full square, just like we do with origami. Okay, see, now I have a square. And for this particular project, I'm going to cut my square in half right where I made that crease just a moment ago. So I'm going to cut this in half. And I'm going to put the one aside. I can use that for another project. And I have one triangle. Now, you see how it's kind of shaped like a roof? It's a triangle. I want it to start at the tip of the roof, the top of the roof. And I'm going to be folding it like a fan. Watch me as I go. You fold on one side, flip it over, and I'm folding it all towards the bottom of that roof. Flip over again. Flip over again. And voila, see, I use my fingers to slide to make those nice creases. And voila, I have a folded fan. So we are now going to take the long side, not the side where you can see both the orange and the white. We want to, not the side where you can see both the orange and the white. We want to take the long side and we are going to fold it in half. And again, pinch, squeeze, and use my fingers to slide. And here we go. We have our flame, but it's not connected yet. But before we glue it closed, I'm actually going to connect it to the logs because that will make it easier in the end. So I'm going to staple it now. Again, just one simple staple should do the trick. And here we go. It's attached to the logs. I'm going to take my glue stick, which is already open, look at that, and put some glue on there, and I'm going to stand it up, squeeze it together, nice and tall. Ta-da! We have a nice bonfire ready to celebrate Lag B'Omer. Go get your marshmallows and enjoy. Bye.